Over 30 years in senior leadership, I've watched a pattern play out more times than I can count. A high performer, talented, driven, producing outstanding results, builds a strong career to a certain level, and then they stop moving. Not because they run out of ability, and not because they stop working hard, not because the environment turns against them. They stop moving something in how they operate. Something they can't quite see is holding them in place. I've seen this at every level. Managers who can't get to the senior managers who can't break through to the C-suite, and C-suite leaders who can't get to the CEO. The pattern is the same at every level, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Today I want to tell you what that pattern is. The performance trap. The pattern I see most often is what I think of as the performing trap. High performers build their identity around performance, around results, around being the person who delivers consistently, reliably, and at a high level. That identity is an enormous asset in the early and middle stages of a career. It gets you noticed, it gets you promoted, it builds a track record that opens doors. But at a certain point, that same identity becomes the thing that holds you back. Because the higher you go, the less the job is about your personal performance. It's about the performance of the people around you. It's about the systems you build, the culture you create, the environment where other people can do their best work. And the high performer is deeply attached to being the best in the room, the one with the answers, the one who delivers, the one who is visibly contributing. And they often struggle with that shift. They keep performing, they keep delivering, they keep being excellent. And the people above them look at that excellence and see someone who is brilliant in their current role, not someone who is ready for the next role. The three sticking points. In my experience, the performing trap shows up in three specific ways. The first is difficulty delegating genuinely. High performers often delegate the task, but hold on to the outcome so tightly that the person they've delegated to can't actually develop. They check in too often, they course correct too quickly, they take it back when it's not going the way they would do it. The result is a team that is dependent, not capable, and a leader who is doing more than they should be, and being assessed as someone who can't scale. The second sticking point is discomfort with ambiguity. High performers like clarity. They like to know what success looks like, work towards it efficiently, and deliver it on time. But the higher you go, the less clarity there is. The problems are more complex, the answers are less obvious, and the pace of resolution is slower. The high performer who hasn't developed comfort with ambiguity tends to move too fast, making decisions before they're ready in order to resolve the discomfort of not knowing. Or they freeze, overwhelmed by the complexity. Either way, it shows. The third sticking point is the hardest one to name and the most common. It's a gap between how you think you're landing with the people around you and how you're actually landing. High performers tend to be confident. That confidence is well-founded, and they have the results to back it up. But the same confidence can create a blind spot, a tendency to assume that the way they see things is the way things are, a difficulty hearing feedback that doesn't match their self-image. And at senior levels, that blind spot is visible to everyone above them, even when they can't see it themselves. The shift that changes everything. The shift that unlocks the next level is not a performance shift. It's an identity shift. From I am the person who delivers to I am the person who creates the conditions for others to deliver. From I have the answers to I create the environment where the right answers emerge. From I am measured by what I produce to I am measured by what my people produce. That shift sounds simple. It is not simple. It requires letting go of the identity that has driven your success for years and building a new one. And it requires honest feedback on where you actually are in that process. not the feedback you get in a performance review, not the feedback from people who want to stay on your good side. Genuinely honest feedback from someone who can see your blind spots and will tell you the truth about them. That is the thing that unlocks the stuck high performer more reliably than anything else I've ever seen. If you're a high performer who feels like you're doing everything right, but not moving forward, I want you to consider that the issue might not be your performance. It might be the shift that you haven't made yet. From deliverer to leader, from performing to enabling, from the identity that got you here to the identity that will take you to the next level. That shift is the work, and it's work that's very hard to do alone. So if this resonates, if you're sitting with that quiet sense that something in how you operate is holding you in place, there is a link below. Let's have a 30-minute discussion, an honest conversation about where you are and what the path forward looks like for you. I'm Greg Stevenson.